Hello and welcome to Boss. What started as a solution to my own problems with running my business has become something much more. Basically, what I found was I was spending most of my time trying to figure out the gritty details of how much a task cost to complete, basically. Um, and also trying to follow up with leads on time and just managing the business basically with all these different platforms. And I was spending all this money trying to link all of this data together, and it wasn't really working. So, what I've come up with is Boss, which is a business operating system solution, and I'm going to run through what it does. So I've separated this into different departments. So if you're wanting to do something in sales, then you go to the sales department. If you're wanting to do something in operations, you go to the operations department, and HR is the same. And we have admin in here as well, which is all of the various different admin things that I thought would go into here. Eventually, we'll have like wikis and stuff like that integrated into here so that all of our team and all of your team as well can use this as their central hub of activity, that everyone just goes to Boss and that's where they live. They have a communication hub. So, I mean, we've already got that up here, but I'll show you that soon. So everything just lives in Boss. Everyone just logs into Boss, and it just functions nicely. At least that's the idea. So let's start from the top. We've got our leadership view. So we have, I should have shown you the dashboard, but you've had plenty of time on that page to have a look at that. If you want to have another look, then please ask. But at the end of the day, it's a dashboard. It provides you with information. There's not really much information in there because this is a demo account for obvious reasons. So we've got our all of our companies. So all of our companies live here, and the company is the anchor point. So what happens to the company happens all the way through their pipeline. So if they come in as a lead, they are a company that is a lead type up here. So we've got prospect here, we've got client here. We would have a lead, and they stay as a lead until something happens from a sales perspective that levels them up to a prospect. From there, they go through the process, through the pipeline, whatever your sales process is, whatever our sales process is. I know what it is, but I'm not going to tell you. Moving on. So they become a customer or a client, whichever you would prefer. And we've got both in here because sometimes we have clients and sometimes we have customers. So we've got both, and that works for any sort of business, really. I think that is one of the things that is failing in most CRMs is you have customers or you have clients, but you can't really have both. We have both because we have two different types of people that we're working with. We have single projects, and then we have ongoing projects as well. Anyway, I spent too much time on that. So these aren't filled in at the moment, but they do work. So if I added email, this would be highlighted. If I added, actually, let's go in and do that. So we'll go into here. So this is the prospect file. So we've got proposals, contacts, project management, notes, activity, competitors, and their portal, because we want them to be able to access certain data. One of which would be their proposal. So I'll show you how that all works soon. But yeah, this is fundamentally what we've got in contacts. So we've got the company, and we can list out all of the contacts which go into the contacts database. So contacts get attached to a specific company, and they continue through the journey with that company. Project management. So projects are created in the project management stage. We've got a tasks library here as well, so that we've got like templates for tasks that are repetitive, that you do over and over again. We don't need to go in and think about what we need to do. We just go, we get, put the task in, and yeah. We've got notes in here with history tracking, so we can go in, add the note, and it loads up the history of what's changed in here. It also has who's changed it, so edited by this person here. And then we've got these edits as well. So if it was Richard in here, for example, our business development manager, then it would come up with Richard or whoever the logged in user is. You can delete them, obviously, and you can add images, you can add files, you can insert tables, you can add links, all of the things that you would expect from notes. Activity is anything that happens in, say, the pipeline. Say they move from one section of the pipeline to another section of the pipeline, that will show up in activity. We don't have anything in here at the moment because we're not moving this person around, but yeah. Competitors, so this is where their competitor information will go. I'm looking at moving this out of the company and putting it into a different section because we've got this sort of in our AI module, but our SEO module, but I don't know. We will. What do you guys think? Should we keep the competitors within the prospect? And is there anything that's missing within the company? And is there anything that's missing in the company view that you would want in there? And then we've got our portal. So here is the link. We can go straight to view, and eventually when we connect emails up to this, we will be able to send off emails with this in here, which will have AI to do a lot of the heavy lifting of what it is to write to your client, so that each of them receives a nice message that is tailored to them specifically. So we've got portal features in here as well. We're going to expand on this too, which is currently a work in progress, where we're going to allow design to occur in here so that we can add in project management and any deals and proposals and any documents and that sort of thing. But we can also add in other things. So maybe you want to add text to the client portal, or maybe you want to add analytics to the client portal. You'll be able to pull those things in so that you can show your clients various different pieces of data that you want them to see, while hiding other data that you may not want them to see, at least not at this point in time. So that's our prospect. The whole idea behind going into here was to go into here, and we're going to go demo at democompany.com.au. So we'll just update that so that you can see. Did I miss that again? I think I missed that again. I'm clicking everywhere, but all right. So we've got our email in here, and then when we go back to all companies, this will be highlighted so we can actually send them an email. So here we are, we're highlighted. We just click on that, and then it will come up with options for that. I've got that turned off so it won't. Eventually, when we get emails in here as well, we will be able to send directly from here. So when we click on that, it'll come up with a nice little compose box, and you'll be able to send off the email to them. Yeah, so that's companies. Let's move on. So reports and analytics are a work in progress, as is calendar, but I'll be able to go into calendar at the moment and show you what that looks like. It looks like a calendar. So we've got our weekly view, our daily view, our monthly view. We can manage bookings in here. So we do have a bookings section. So yeah, we do have a booking section, which will rival other companies, not naming any names. We can add settings in here. You can link your calendar in here. So at the moment we've got Google Calendar. Eventually we will have other calendars that are acceptable as well. Yeah, so that's what we've got there at the moment. We've got our SEO module and our web designer. Both of these are in a work in progress. The SEO module is pretty close to being completed, so we'll move on from there. Prospects looks how you would expect prospects to look, and leads are not showing up here at the moment, so I'm going to have to see what happened to those. So yeah, it's just companies filtered to prospects, so it's yeah, pretty much the same stuff. Oh, with notes as well. So if we go in and add a note, so this is an example note. Then when we add that, we've done something to the prospect. And this isn't just in prospects, this is across all companies. It asks you whether or not you want to update the last contacted, because I figured that's something that should happen. But I didn't want to force that to happen, because sometimes you'll go in and create notes, but you haven't actually contacted them. So I decided to make it a choice. So it asks you whether you want to update the last contacted. And then if you do, then a follow-up will be scheduled for 3 days later. So yes, update it, no. If we go in and update that, then when we go back into prospects, you can move these around too. Then we've got our last contact in here with a follow-up in here. We've got our pipeline. So we've got a demo deal in here. We've got discovery, proposal, negotiation, contract. We've got a deal value up here as well. So at the moment, I haven't really put in any financials for this particular deal, but if we did go in, actually, I don't think that this one is complete yet, so we'll come back to that, but oh, never mind. So yeah, it is attached to this here, this proposal. I'll show you proposals shortly. And I think because we are working with very little in terms of, I haven't put in dollars for the proposals. Anyway, here's the expected value. So obviously we need to go and fix that. But this is in beta testing at the moment. So these are the things that we get defined. So we can add new proposals as well. Just because we've got one proposal doesn't mean that we can't create a new proposal for this particular deal that we've got. I don't know why you would have several proposals to one deal, but anyway, it's an option. It's an option. And it was intentional as well. We wanted that to be a function of that. We can move this around as well. When you move it back, it's basically going, look, has this proposal been sent yet? No, not sent. Yes, it's been sent. I didn't want to automatically assume that a proposal had been sent. Yeah, and then when we're close to closing, we can move them over to here, and it updates them, and it gives the percentage. We're going to utilize AI to calculate this probability as well. At the moment, it's working on code to get it working, but we're going to embed AI in that so that the predictive modeling for the probability of success will come from the system itself, assuming that the prospect has gone through BOSS completely, and we'll look at how we can bring in other data to verify that as well, where in the sense of how to explain this. So what I want to happen and what should happen with all leads is it should look at their engagement, their interactive, how interactive they've been with responding to emails and that sort of thing, and looking at various different signals to demonstrate that they are a hot lead, a hot prospect, versus someone who is kind of interested, but they haven't really engaged with you. It's taken them like 5 days to get back to you, and maybe they're busy, but at the end of the day, that will be part of the predictive modeling for this probability of success to close this. It won't be an exact science, like maybe there's an 85% chance that they will go through, and then there's some sort of thing happens in their life and they're not going to go through with it, or whatever the case may be. Like, it's not going to be an exact that is the case, but I mean, statistics never are. Anyway, moving on from there. So we've got pipeline. We can change that to a list view if you prefer that as well. Bookings. So with our bookings, we've got event types. We can go in and create an event type. We can call it demo event. We can add a slug. So this is basically what the event will be called. So we will call that demo event because it's a URL. We need this dash instead of a space there. We can add in description, we can give it specific colors, we can add duration, we can add meeting location, so wherever that is. We can add buffer before and after. We can have minimum notice so they can't book in within 24 hours, or a maximum days ahead so they can book in for tomorrow, or all the way up to 60 days. Max bookings per day, so you can put that in as well. We can add booking questions. We can add pricing as well. This doesn't exist yet. Actually, we should remove that. That doesn't exist yet. We can set it to active and we can set it to public. So this will be a public booking page. We can set this off if we we want it to be active. So we want to be able to test it out and make sure that everything's working the way that we want it to without it being public. And then we can set it to public. So we just create that. And then we can go in and create autoresponders there. So we can copy that link, and then when we copy that link and go to it, I haven't set my availability. So let's go and set that now because that'll be a good demonstration. So we've got availability in here as well. So we'll set Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I really hated how I would have to go in and set these from 0. This is generally what we're going to have. There might be some variations in here, but I wanted this to have defaults in here that is normal, maybe. We can add overrides as well in here. So if there's specific dates, say the 25th of December, for example, we can add in that we're not available on that day. Or if you're going on holidays, then that will also occur. But I mean, that's just an additional override. If you're on holidays, obviously that will be in your calendar and they won't be able to book in for those days because you will be, yeah. You can set defaults as well. So this will just go Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So we've now got that. So let's refresh this. And now we've got some stuff coming up. And my browser is working on UTC time for some reason. So we're coming up with these dates here. Yeah, I'm going to have to fix that. But again, that's why it's not live yet. We've also got an autoresponder in here. So we can create an autoresponder. So we're booking for something. And we can add all these various different variables with that. Yeah, so that'll create a workflow. We can have several of these, and I've got to add what event type this is for. That way we can have different autoresponders for different event types. So yeah, that's our booking system. We got proposals. Now I'm really proud of how this looks. This is probably the best feature that we have currently, apart from the SEO module. This is pretty cool. I think so anyway. So here's a proposal that I prepared earlier. It's attached to this deal. And basically we've got our financial summary, we've got our estimated profitability, we've got our estimated costs. So the idea behind this is we add our tasks from our tasks library or project management for the specific proposal. Actually, no, we add products. So in products, I'll come back to this because I'll show you how it all works by going through all the various different things. So we've got our products. So we've got a demo product here, and this currently has no tasks attached to it. So we've set the product price at $10. So we just went in and created the product and set the price just as you normally would with anything. We can have a target margin as well in there so that we can sort of have it there. So yeah, there's all of that you would have in a product, but I've also got tasks that we attach to it. So there's no tasks currently at the moment. Let's go to the tasks library and create a task. So we'll go in and we'll go demo task. This is a very difficult task to complete. So we've got parent tasks in here. So we've got dependencies attached to it. So we can set this as a parent task and then we can add other tasks that need to be done underneath this task, so that for this task to be complete, we need to do those other tasks as well. We can have estimated number of hours, so we're going to go 1 hour. Internal cost, so we'll put that at 5. Billable rate, we're going to go 10. And then we don't have any categories because you've got to add them. We've got priorities and we've got to add those. We've got to add the button back. We can have a default assigned role, which at the moment that's manual, but I'm looking at whether it is when we finish with the HR section, you'll be able to pull in the specific roles that this is attached to, or you'll be able to add a role where it'll add a position description and that sort of thing that you don't need to fill out at the time, but it will encourage you to go back. The task can require client approval, and it can be active as well. We've got tags in there for the sake of having tags so that it's easy to search for tasks. So we'll just create that task, and that's annoying. All right, never mind. Did it create it at all? Nope. All right, new bug. That's right. That's why we're not live. All right, so I can't show you that right now, which is probably why we don't have any tasks attached to this product. But fundamentally, what would happen, the idea behind this is that we have tasks attached to this, and then the cost of the task is the cost here. So if it costs us $5 and we're selling it for $10, then the profit is going to be $5, which is like, it'll go 50% margin down here. We can deactivate or delete the product, and then when we go into proposals, which is in sales naturally, and go into here, it will show up in here as well, where we've got our revenue, and then we've got the cost, which would be $5, which would again estimate the profitability as this. So yeah, and then from there we can send it off to the client. Eventually it'll just be a send to email. We've got our activity down here as to what's been happening. This is the preview. Never mind. What we want is, why did it go there? Go back in here. I could have just gone there. This. So this is what the client sees, and we can add stuff to this as well. So at the moment, the total is 0 because they haven't approved anything. The second that they approve it, then it adds the price. They can go, oops, I didn't mean to do that, or they can submit their approval, and then it will send you a notification within Boss to say that it's been accepted. It also tells you when they viewed it. So view history, we've got in here 25 seconds ago, and we're still viewing it. So obviously we need to fix this up. But one of the things that I always struggle with is when our clients are actually looking at the proposal. So this does away with that because it will tell you when they're actually looking at the proposal. We need to add hours in here as well. All right, so yeah, it changes to viewed. Usually this will be a mark as sent, or it will be a sent button once we mark it as sent. And this is marked as approved, which if we go in and approve that, so let's go and submit that. Of course not. Then this will be marked as approved, and it'll have a little approved button somewhere in here. Yeah, so that is the proposal system. We've got reviews in here as well for our template. So when we go in and create this here, we can add a section that is customer reviews. So these reviews over here, I didn't show you the sections either. So we've got like all these various different sections in here: project timeline, meet the team. All of these will be templates. So, well, most of these will be templates, like your ideal future state and your current reality. Those are things that you should fill out based on your conversation with them. You can add custom text as well, but like meet the team, that'll be a template. Our methodology, that'll be a template, that sort of thing. We've also got additional information here, so notes, payment terms, terms and conditions, you can whack into there and they will become templated as well. And then you can add discounts at the proposal level, and you can add discounts at the line item level as well. You can mark these as optional, so people know that they are optional, basically. The recommended retail price is here. So this is the product price. It's not pulling through correctly, obviously. And then the price that you want to put forward. So let's say that that is working properly. The recommended retail price that it would get from the product is $10. So we can set that to $5 if we really want to. Or we can set a discount, or we can set this price to like $100 if we really wanted to, and then set a discount in here. Yeah, you can attach it to a deal here. You can attach it to a different company, etc., etc. Moving on from there. So yeah, that's what reviews is. This will disappear eventually, and we'll just have it in that back area. Maybe in admin, actually. It would be good to see. Contacts is contacts. That's nothing really to see in here that's any more special than what we were. In fact, I'm not sure that it's working at this point in time. We'll have to come back to this. Demo, contact, job title, details, what it's attached to. So we'll attach it to we can add a company from there as well if we're adding a contact first. Yeah, I don't think that's working. No, that's all right. What else have we got? All right, so we've got our clients and our customers. These are the same as what we've seen before, so I'm not going to take you over that. Projects. So these are singular projects. So for us, if we were to do a website, it would show up in projects. So they still show up as tasks in our project manager, but we want a little bit of separation of church and state. Should have customer there instead of client, but and we need to expand on this. So who's the project manager? Who's the assigned person to this? What the budget is, the total number of hours. So what stage we're up to, that sort of thing. Yeah, what you would expect in a project sort of area. Products we've seen, task library, we've seen how that doesn't work yet. So we got project management next. So we can go in and create our new task, which we can't at the moment, but if we could, then this is what it would look like. And then let's see if we can do it from here. Actually, I think I can do it from here because and you can set like its demo organization is what this one's called. Um, so yeah, you can actually set tasks for your own company, which annoyed me to no end that I needed to add myself as a company in companies in other CRMs and in order to set myself tasks. Like, why can't I just assign myself tasks? That's just stupid. Um, so we've got date and time in here. I need to add a date picker to this. We've got estimated hours. Yeah, we don't have any costing in here because it's based off of the employee that we choose. So with the employees, which I'll just open that up quickly. We've got our hourly rate. So we've got our employee here. As you can see, that's coming up there. And this employee can log into the system as well. So as soon as you add an employee or invite them, then they can log in and they will get their employee view, which I won't show in this. This video is getting long already. I don't think this is going to show me what I would need it to, but that's right. We can go in and edit. No, we can't. That's all broken. All right. This is why we're not live. So as you can see, we're pretty close. So yeah, we would set a hourly rate for this person, and then when we're going in and creating these tasks, when we set the estimated hours, it multiplies the hours by the employee's rate. And so we end up with the cost of the thing. And then that cost is replaced when it comes out with actual time. Hopefully it does it. It did it. Look at that. We've got time tracking going already. Because we're in progress. That's right. So we'll just go and put that as... No, I said not started. I wrecked it. There we go. All right. So we've got number of hours. We've got our time tracking here. So if I go in and start that task, and then we'll go and do something else quickly, and we'll come back to that. So we've set it to start. It's in progress. So now it's calculating the number of hours. It's counting in seconds at the moment, and so we'll just leave that running, and we'll come back in a moment. So we've got our Kanban view. So at the moment it is in progress. We can move that over to in review, and it will turn that off once we do that. So I'm not going to do that at this point in time. And then we can go in and view the task as well, in theory. Yep, there we go. And we'll add more details to this. I think we will add notes in here as well. We can edit the task if we really want to. We can change who the assignee is. So I did set that already, but it didn't listen. Yeah, that's broken. We can set the priority from here. Yeah, and we're working on a patch at the moment. Our developer, or one of, is adding Gantt charts to this and extending this even further as well with a number of different things. So that is not far away. then, so yeah, that's project management. Let's come back to that. This is another feature that I wanted to show you before we finish up, because this is really long. So we've got our feature requests in here. So if you want a feature, you can go and request it. It just makes sense, right? But you can vote on this. So these aren't just your requests. These are across all of Boss. These appear. So if you vote on something, it will appear as a vote on all of the other accounts. And so you can go in and vote once. You can't just sit there and like vote and vote and vote and vote and vote and vote and vote to get your thing to show up first. Yeah, it's a voting system across the app basically. So popularity contest, the more people that go in, and that's not working. Vote for a thing, the more likely we're going to go, hey, we need this mobile app yesterday. There we go. It just takes time. Just takes a little time. Yeah, so if you guys go in and vote for this, this will obviously be first. If you accidentally press that, then you can press it again and it will get rid of your vote as well. But you can't vote more than once, obviously, because, yeah. All right. So let's go back to here. We're going to turn this off. Speed optimization is on the list before launch as well. So we've got 4 minutes. So we would actually be charging for, or the cost of this would be 4 minutes multiplied by their hourly rate. So if their hourly rate is, let's say, $25, then it would be 4 multiplied by 24, or 25 multiplied by 4. No, that would be hours by 0.04. My math brain is not working today, but yeah, I'm sure that there's smart people out there will be able to go, oh, Steve, what are you doing? That would be da 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 da, and I would agree with them. And last but not least, well, second last, because I'll just quickly show you. You don't like black, you can go white. You don't like white, you can go black. And these notifications do actually work as well. I just don't have any notifications at the moment. We have a chat system in here. So we've got channels, we've got direct messages, and we can message backwards and forwards. So I can send myself a message. Here I am here sending myself a message. We can add files as well. We can add images, and it's basically going, look, message this person here, and is a video example. So then it sends it off. Here it is, and I will receive it on my end, which I'll just quickly log in and show you. All right, here we are. So we're in my account, and here it is. So then we can just go message received, and then it sends it back. And I'm not going to log in and show you the demo account. Yeah, you can just trust that it works. So that's that. And so yeah, welcome to Boss.